And now, if it speaks to you, you can open your eyes or keep them closed. But for a moment, maybe if that speaks to you, you can play with the possibility to connect yourself to the, let's say, abilities of this group. Maybe to one person, maybe to the group. So we have a lot of abilities, a lot of mature, integrated places where we are really capable. And if you like, for a moment, let's tune in, let's connect to these places where we are capable, where we live our life, we have a job, we go in and out of the house, we have friends, we manage things. Many, many things are in place. We might be a little bit trained to look at the things which don't work. Let's say, given our childhood, we were very trained to bridge the parts of our parents which don't work. So also evolutionary, that's a little bit we have an angle here. But now let's consciously tune in with, you look at a lot of competence. We have maybe no idea what these people are doing, but anyway, you look at a lot of competence. And if you like, you can have the competence land in your system. So how do you feel when you look at competence, when you honor capability? Wow, when I look at him or her, wow, that's good. And for a moment, you might sit, take your place in competence. How does that land in you? When you look at competence, how does your system respond? That doesn't mean that you need to like this person or dislike. It only means that you can honor and connect to competence. It also doesn't mean that this person is perfect. So your competence of noticing competence. Maybe you can give that a little bit of space in your own system. That we build a group together of competent people. And not only blindly competent, but also wanting to grow. So you are not here because you're not courageous. You are here because you're adventurous, you're curious. You look for support. There's a part in you where you know you don't need to do it on your own. There are people outside for support. You're not alone on this planet. Let me just rest in competence. Maybe you also can connect for a moment to your own competence. For example, the competence to notice the capability of people. That you have a lot of discernment. Oh, with this person I would maybe start a business, or maybe not with this person. Without needing to put that into place, why and what, but there is competence. And maybe your system also relaxes when you focus on competence. That's not to deny things which don't work. But it's also to say yes to what works. And you also might notice when you look at persons, oh, maybe there is feeling, not feeling. You might also have a feeling for that. And then, oh, wow, that's also a competence. This person has learned to fade that a little bit out. A lot of presence there, a little bit faded out here. Not because we are stupid, because we're intelligent. So all our patterns, all our, let's say from the outside, strange behaviors, from the inside, they don't feel strange. They're all serving life. They are maybe not anymore serving a grown-up, mature person, but they definitely served us as children. And if you would tell your system very clearly, okay, now I really want to look at them as the mature man, the mature woman of today. I will not deny my childhood anxieties, but I also will not bring them into the foreground. I will look at them as the mature man, the mature woman of today. There's a lot of things, of capabilities, of solidity, of foundation in you. There is the magnetism of maybe anxiety, but there is the clarity of the captain. Okay, the waves are high, the wind is stormy, I don't like it, and I'm here. Not to harden yourself, to be tough and go through it, but simply to look as the man, as the woman of today. Like a conscious switch. Anyway, the younger stored energy in us longs for a mature person. And partly we have that, at least partly, most probably much more. When I listen to the latest news from my unreflected anxiety, where does that bring me? And then let's not dive too deeply into that. When I listen to the news from the place of my maturity of today, again, not denying and pushing down the other parts, but really deciding I look as the man and woman of today. As a kind, but also straight decision. If we are very, very triggered, that's not possible. So if we are in a good fight with our partner, with our boss, with our children, that's maybe really difficult. Or most probably it's nearly impossible. But later, when we come a little bit down, if there is still some space, we can do that. Maybe to play with that. Because when we look through the eyes of the child, the world is very big and we are very small. And the container, our container for feelings is small, like a small glass. But now we are a much bigger person. And then Let's breathe for a moment. When, let's say, I say, let's let go of where we are, I don't say let go of your maturity. Let's not go to automatic, whatever that means for us, but let's say, let's be the captain, have the steering wheel. Let's put the young places, the anxiety places on the passenger seat, and let's have the mature place on the driver's seat. Yeah, from my side, thank you very much. So given the time, we are also coming to the closing of today.
Markus, thank you so much. Edith just would like to ask you a question about her experience in Israel. Do you have a chance to answer that briefly?
If it's really brief, I can maybe, but so it's,
okay.
it's not
Yeah.
So
a
given
huge
the time,
question. Yeah. But thank you very, very much.
So Edith, if you unmuted yourself.
Yeah, I muted myself, but I think that it might take a little bit longer. Well, I'll just say that it was really interesting for me to feel the difference between anxiety and fear, how they hit me in the body, how they come from different places. Yeah. And then I've really noticed also the fear of disconnecting. As a child, my way of dealing with things was to disconnect, as I assume for many others. And I also noticed just then that it didn't feel like anxiety when I felt the differences, but it felt like a direct fear of really just the fear of disconnecting. Oh, I'm going to go there again. I'm going to disappear there again. So that was just really interesting to feel the difference. Yeah. But that fear of disconnection didn't feel like anxiety, even though it came from the past. It felt like a very direct fear in me.
Yeah. That would lead us a little bit deeper also into our, let's say, into our special function, because anxiety sometimes is a blanket. There is something below that. For example, we might get angry or sad, and when it was not possible to become like protest in our childhood, and then we need to pull that down, and then so anxiety is more a function. It's not really a feeling. It functions as something. And when you come really to the younger places, then it feels also very real. So as you can name that. Oh wow, that's the fear of then, the stored fear. But then also from the maturity of today, we can relate to that.
Yeah.
As a child, we are dependent on a dysfunctional surrounding. So when your parents would have been able to include that, it would have relaxed and it would have gone. But now you needed to save, to kind of store that. And this also comes up as in a way, it's kind of a fear. But it's not connected to the moment, it's a stored fear.
No,
so we also can look at that. But it will kind of channel itself into this situation. And in Israel, you have a very strict shutdown. So also a lot of these things get triggered.
Yeah.
In other countries also, but and also we answer to that according to our own inner safety making, how our safety system is programmed,
Absolutely.
we are conditioned.
Thank you.
But this and that need, of course, these things need a little bit more a personal view and also a personal process. But on the general, we can already do a lot. For example, the distinction of anxiety and fear. So this vague, horrific thing in our guts, this is this. And also let's say the ability to decide to look at competence. We can really synchronize on competence, and then we will be a very different group, as if, let's say, we start resonating with our anxieties and stored fears and problems, and then this gets kind of a standing wave, and it kind of strengthens the whole process, and then we are like a herd of chicken without head and all running all over the place.
Yeah, it was amazing to go through the whole cycle, that movement cycle from irritation into fear, into competencies, and into the adult the mature person. It was really such a different shift of energy and relationship into the body. It was quite profound for me. Thank you.
Yeah, that was like also why I designed it like that. So that was, but yeah, great. When it works for you, it's fine, and if it doesn't work, you do something better.
Thank you.
Don't believe me, for sure, but take what makes sense for you.
Yeah, it's like you say, you know, there's people there, and we don't have to invent the wheel, and we can take some things and check them for ourselves. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, yeah.
Markus, thank you very much. You have to go. Thank you.
I have to go, yeah. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day, and stay healthy.
Bye. Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, and also in the moment you decide to connect to your competence, you are also a crystallization point, a North Star for your surrounding. When your surrounding starts shaking, we can add to the shakiness, but we also can, okay, what is still working here? Not to deny and suppress, but it doesn't need a therapy in every moment. Some moments it's good to stay functional. Therapy is therapy and function is function. Okay, bye for now.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.